A new report has surfaced about Zack Snyder only wanting to return to DC if Warner Brothers will allow him make the Dark Knight Returns film. This is an interesting report. I actually like it because I want Zack back, not really as the like the executive of the DC universe or anything like that, like before. Maybe at least as a director, at least come back, make a film in the DC that we all love and at least we can cherish. And I've always felt that he's Ben Affleck. When he had Ben Affleck playing Batman, that character he played as a Batman was by far the best Batman I've seen on screen. His Batman was so good in terms of being rugged, tough to beat, and was so brutal in his decision making, and very cool in terms of the way he handled issues. I like Ben Affleck as Batman, and I would have wanted him to have either even a film or a trilogy. So I would want him to come back to the DC universe, at least to make a Batman film or even make a Justice League film. So this is literally coming from Cosmic Book News, and all this regarding any chance of Zack Snyder returning to the DCEU Justice League movies. Basically, what Cosmic Book News is saying is that the ship has sailed in terms of making a Justice League sequel or anything. But he said, the writer says that I'm told that if Zack Snyder ever comes back to the DC, that he will only come back for The Dark Knight Returns. That's the film he will only come back to make. Now, it's reported that Netflix might be eyeing purchasing Warner Brothers Discovery, and you already know that Zack Snyder is currently at Netflix. He makes films for Netflix. This is something that can work, especially if Netflix buys Warner Brothers at the end of the day. There could be that possibility. There really could be. Now, James Gunn, I've said this, James Gunn has killed the DC brand for me. His Superman rendition is one of the worst and most pathetic things I've ever seen on television. He made Superman a soy boy, a joke of a character, and not good enough to carry almost his own team. It's so bad. And the writer here at Cosmic Book News says that I'm also told that DCU projects have been stalling because James Gunn's interference, and that will have his own video. I will make a separate video, most likely will release after this one. That James Gunn is even going to be kicked out once Warner Brothers sells to another entity. So this is an interesting situation. In fact, Zack Snyder wants to end his superhero career with The Dark Knight Returns. So this is an interesting situation. Zack Snyder said back in 2023, that was 2 years ago, that he would end his superhero career with The Dark Knight Returns, a true representation of the graphic novel. When Warner Brothers is sold, I'm told it could happen. If you look at Watchmen with Alan Moore, took like basically iconic iconographic characters that you could be superimposed over a lot of, if Night Owl is Batman and Doctor Manhattan has Supermanish qualities, you could make three different sort of archetype hero analysis over the top stories of sorry over the top of those heroes. That's what Zack Snyder said at the time. And he's continued that the thing about Dark Knight Returns is that it's literally Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman, and the construction that is so obvious and so palatable. For me, it was cosmic grow. It was like cosmic. It was like comic grew up in a single moment. So when I read that book, I was completely laid bare everything I thought about superheroes. For me, it's the greatest comic book ever written, and if I could do that, I will have done Watchmen and Dark Knight Returns, and I will be pretty much done with superheroes. So this is what he has said. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Share your thoughts down below. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Do like our content. I'll see you guys very much next time.